All right. We'll go ahead and call this meeting to order at 6 p.m.
Recording in progress.
Thank you. So we'll call this meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Director Sailors.
Present.
Director Gould.
Here.
Director Rice.
Present.
Director Rice, you need to participate remotely this evening. Thank you. Director Costa.
Here.
Director Weber.
Here.
Director Stark.
Here.
Director Clark. Director Jones.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll go ahead and start the Pledge of Allegiance. Director Weber.
Yes, sir. I pledge of allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Director Weber. Yep. All right, Metro Cable announcement. This meeting of the Sacramento Metropolitan Fire District is recorded. The recording will be cablecast on Metro Cable Channel 14. All relevant information about tonight's meeting can be found in the agenda. We'll move to public comment. This is the public opportunity to discuss matters of public interest within the district's jurisdiction, including items on or not on the agenda. Do we have any speakers?
I have no speaker cards. If you're wanting to make a public comment, please let us know. Online, if you're on Zoom, please use the raise your hand feature. No public comments. Thank you.
All right, thank you. That moves us to the consent items. Do we have
Chair,
any
I
questions?
make a motion, we adopt consent as published.
Second.
All right, we have a first and a second.
Director Sailors.
Aye.
Director Gould.
Aye.
Director Stark. Director Clark. Director Jones.
Aye.
Director Rice. Skip Director Rice. Director Weber.
Aye.
President Costa.
Aye.
Director Rice, coming back to you.
Director Rice, aye.
Thank you. Motion passes.
All right.
Consent calendar is adopted.
Thank you, directors. Thank you, Marnie. Action items. The first item, purchase approval for air unit. We have Fleet Manager Purcell.
I feel like I've done this once or twice.
And your name's on here a few times.
So, good evening. For this
Evening.
first purchase is for an air unit. This purchase will again be using a Sourcewell contract purchasing cooperative to obtain it. Our current reserve air unit is 25 years old and just gave up the ghost 2 weeks ago. It's done. So we're down to a single air unit, so this is good timing. This purchase will, once arrives, will give us a reserve again. Estimated lead time for this unit is about 18 months, and staff recommends the board approve the purchase for an air unit from Burton's Fire, Inc.
Thank you very much. Any questions from the board?
Make a motion that we follow the action item as published.
Thank you,
Number
Director.
one.
We have a motion. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Got a few. Did you catch that, Marnie?
Yes, I got a second from Jones, I believe was the first one I heard.
Okay.
I'll take the roll.
Yes, please.
Director Sailors.
Aye.
Director Gould.
Aye.
Director Stark.
Aye.
Director Clark. Director Jones.
Aye.
Director Rice.
Aye.
Director Weber.
Aye.
President Costa.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you. We'll move on to action item number 2, purchase approval of 2 3,000-gallon water tenders.
So thank you. Next purchase again will be for 2 water tenders. These are the final 2 of the 3 approved in this year's CIP purchase plan. These vehicles will mirror the first unit ordered last November, providing further standardization for our fleet. Estimated time of delivery for both units will be in Q1 of 2027, reflecting a single year lead time, which is not too shabby nowadays. And staff recommends the board approve the purchase of 2 water tenders from Faust Fire, please.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from the board?
Yes, sir. I'll make the motion, please.
And I'll second.
We have a first and a second from Director Stark.
Director Sailors.
Aye.
Director Gould.
Aye.
Director Stark.
Aye.
Director Clark. Director Jones.
Aye.
Director Rice.
Aye.
Director Weber.
Aye.
President Costa.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you. All right, action item number 3, adopt a resolution acknowledging compliance with Health and Safety Code Section 13146.4. We have Chief Nygren. Welcome.
Good evening, President Costa, Board of Directors, Chief House, Amy Nygren, Fire Marshal for the Community Risk Reduction Division. And we're just waiting for that to pull up. We can move on. Our little clicker isn't working, so I'll be kind of heading over there. We're good.
All right.
Okay, tonight we're going to do a quick overview on Senate Bill SB 1205, a little overview of the community risk reduction staffing, our state mandated inspection, and our compliance with those inspections. SB 1205 went into effect in 2018 and it's codified in the Health and Safety Code. It requires every fire agency to report compliance with state mandated inspections to their governing board. So our state mandated inspections are items that the state requires us to inspect. They do not provide funding for those inspections, but we are required to report out to the board our compliance. And then it requires the governing body to acknowledge receipt of that report. A little bit of our staffing. What a great picture there. We have 3 supervising inspectors. One oversees code enforcement, 1 for new construction, and 1 for training. We have 14 inspectors. Last June, we hit 14. So we've been in the process of finalizing that training program. 7 of them are Inspector 2s that handle mostly new construction, plan review, and some of the state mandates. And Inspector 1s focus more on the code enforcement, the state mandates, and complaints. One of the items that we must report out on are our e-occupancies. So that's our public and private schools, as well as any educational occupancy with 6 or more persons through the 12th grade. And as you can see there, those are the numbers that we have for our jurisdiction. We also have to report out on our occupancies. So our hotels, motels, apartments, and residential care facilities for more than 6. Again, our numbers are posted. And then as well as our high rise, we only have 1 in our jurisdiction at this time, so we report on that as well. Our group E occupancies, so 377 total E occupancies, all 377 received an initial inspection for 100% compliance rate. Our group R occupancies, 1,866 completed inspections, 100% compliance rate. Putting into perspective, those are the initial inspections. So 78.5% of E occupancies required more than 1 inspection. 60.3% of our R occupancies required more than 1 inspection. So we're still in the process of trying to get education out to these occupancies, trying to get a diligent re-inspection program continued and get them into full compliance. With that, staff recommends the board adopt a resolution acknowledging receipt of the report regarding performance of the annual inspections as outlined in the Health and Safety Code. With that, I'll take any questions.
Thank you, Chief. Any questions? Director Gould.
Mr. Chair, can you see what's happening? Your department is now, or your division is now competing with our finance for all of these ongoing annual accolades, right? I mean, isn't this just
That's true.
really phenomenal that our money is good and our mandated inspections, which really results in people being a lot safer? This is just incredible when we see this kind of stuff. Kudos to all of you that do this kind of work. I mean, I think we've had 100% compliance for quite a long time, despite, as you mentioned, and as I mention annually,
Yes.
no state funding for these state mandates. That's
Correct.
pretty awesome.
We have an amazing team, and they put in a lot of effort and work to get all of this done in a timely manner.
Nicely done. Any other questions or comments? All right. So this is an action item, so can I call for a motion and a second, please?
Mr. Chair, I'll move the motion.
Director Jones, thank you. Director Clark, thank you. So we have a first and a second.
Great.
Roll call,
Director
please.
Saylors.
Aye.
Director Gould.
Aye.
Director Stark.
Aye.
Director Clark. Director Jones.
Aye.
Director Rice.
Aye.
Director Weber.
Aye.
Director Costa.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you. Thank you, Chief Nygren. All right. Item number 4, adopt resolution contract award for RFP 25-07, multi-site fire station design package.
Good evening,
Good evening.
Director Costa, Board. Thank you for being here all tonight. We're very excited tonight to bring this recommendation to you. We've been working on this for quite some time. As you know, we're excited to start the design process for our next 4 stations, courtesy of Measure O. Station 23, replacement. Station 42, replacement at a new location. Station 61, replacement. And Station 112, replacement. So these are all infill projects. So we're very excited to be able to enhance capacity at these stations and get these projects moving. So as you recall, last November, this board approved a pre-qualified shortlist of architecture and engineering firms that were eligible to bid on district contracts over the next 5 years. That being said, our RFP for this particular design package, a package of 4 stations altogether, was put out to bid to those 5 firms who were pre-qualified. We had a RFP process. They submitted proposals, which were reviewed by an evaluation panel here internally. We also conducted presentation and interviews with 4 of the proposers. We did have 1 proposer withdraw from the competition due to scheduling conflicts. So we ended with 4 total proposals and interview process. Those were scored based on established evaluation criteria that was set out in the RFP. And we are pleased to bring the recommendation to award a contract to Core Design Group. They were the highest scoring proposer, and staff believes that they provide the best value to the district and are the best fit for this particular project, given the project constraints and the push to deliver on these projects. So we're very excited to begin this process, and staff recommends that the board authorize the fire chief or his designee to negotiate and execute a contract with Core Design Group. If we are unable to conclude a contract within 10 days as stipulated in the RFP, we would also ask the board to authorize the fire chief or his designee to allow us to negotiate with the next highest scoring proposer, should we not be able to negotiate a contract successfully with Core. I will take any questions you have. We're very excited about this project, and following hopefully your approval tonight, we will begin that process, and our next phase of design engagement. As you remember, our phase 1 was sort of a pre-design engagement, and our phase 2 with the members will be with that targeted group who express interest in continuing on their involvement. So we're excited to bring that forward.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Any questions? Director Weber.
I've got a 3-part for you. Number 1, are they existing sites? And they are? All of them
Yes,
are
so
existing
these
sites?
are all existing sites. So Station 23 will be a demolition rebuild. Station 61 will be a demolition rebuild. Station 112 will be a demolition rebuild. And Station 42 is a relocation to our vacant Watt and Myrtle site.
Okay.
So, yes.
And are these all identical buildings? Are they all different because of the?
So we hope to be able to find some design efficiencies by standardizing them as much as possible. 3 of the stations are the same bed bay configuration, so we are hopeful in that. One of them is slightly smaller, so it will just kind of depend on the site constraints, but it is our intent to try to streamline design as much as possible to find some efficiencies there, yes.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I understand 42 would be a smaller footprint. I get
Yeah, a
that.
little
So,
bit.
but the other ones, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Director. Any other questions? All right, so this is an action item, so I'd like to call for a motion.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we adopt the resolution as published.
Thank you, Director Gould. We have a first and a second. Roll call,
Director
please.
Saylors,
Aye.
Director Gould,
Aye.
Director Stark,
Aye.
Director Clark, Director Jones,
Aye.
Director Rice,
Aye.
Director Weber,
Aye.
President Costa.
Aye.
Thank you, motion passes.
Thank you.
Great, thank you so much. We actually do have the principal in charge with Core Design Group, Jeff Katz, in the audience tonight. So if you're all right, I'd like to invite him up to introduce himself to the board, since he'll be a big partner of ours over the next couple of years.
Fantastic. Welcome.
Thanks, Aaron. Director Costa, directors, chief, very happy to be here this evening. I appreciate the confidence that the review team and the board has shown in us. We have enjoyed our relationship with the district, and we're very excited to accept this challenge of delivering these 4 stations just as quickly as possible to satisfy the community's support of the district. So we're excited to be a part of this. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. So action item 5, we'll come back to after closed session. So that'll take us to number 6. So adopt a resolution for emergency work approval. Chief Mitchell.
Yes. Thank you, President Costa. Good evening, directors, Chief House, colleagues, members of the public. Adam Mitchell, Deputy Chief of Support and Emergency Services. I'm here before you tonight to request the board adopt a resolution finding that an emergency exists and authorize contracting without a competitive solicitation for bids pursuant to Public Contract Code Section 22050 for the repair, demolition, and cleanup of our building here at 10545 Armstrong Avenue. On February 8th, as you're aware, we suffered a fire incident here in headquarters upstairs on the 2nd floor. Fortunately, the building's fire suppression system activated. Our crews got here, made sure the fire was extinguished. However, the suppression system and smoke damage was fairly significant, involving much of the west side of the building as well as into our space downstairs on the 1st floor. And so we have since relocated staff in our facility to temporary workspaces, and work has begun on making sure that we're addressing water and smoke damage and isolating, confining, and not having any additional exposure to our folks. But in the meantime, we are coming here to ask for an emergency declaration, as we said, because we began that work and we want to make sure we provide a safe and healthy work environment for our folks to get back into the building, and for our continuing operations, continuity of operations, to make sure that we're doing what we need to do to serve the public. The fiscal impact right now is not known. However, we do expect it to exceed the Act's threshold for contracting public projects without an informal procedure, and that's why we're here tonight. So all that being said, similar to incidents in the past, staff's recommending that the Board of Directors adopt a resolution finding that an emergency does actually exist and authorize contracting without a competitive solicitation for bids pursuant to the code I mentioned earlier, and so that we can return it to a condition safe for occupancy. Additionally, if you all do adopt that resolution finding emergency exists, the board shall review the emergency action at its next regularly scheduled meeting and at every regularly scheduled meeting thereafter until the action is terminated, to determine by a 4/5 vote that there is a need to continue the action. The board shall terminate the action at the earliest possible date that the conditions warrant to do so. And with that, that's what we recommend. I'll take any questions if you have them.
Great. Thank you. Any questions?
No, sir. Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we adopt the resolution as explained.
We have a first. I'll second. And we have a second. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Director Sailors.
Aye.
Director Gould. Director Stark.
Aye.
Director Clark. Director Jones.
Aye.
Director Rice.
Aye.
Director Weber.
Aye.
President Costa.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Excellent. Before I finish, I
Mitchell.
would like to recognize our partner that responded that evening and got here to start the restoration immediately is in the audience by my request. In case there were any questions, Dry Creek Restoration is here. No need to introduce yourself tonight, but I just wanted to let you all know they have already done fantastic work in removing water and starting the process in the building to treat the smoke and the water damage. So really appreciate their work, and we'll get this taken care of, I'm sure, with their professionalism and their staff. So thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Mitchell, and thank you for taking the time to come tonight and all your hard work. Thank you, board members. All right, we'll move on to reports. President's report. Quickly, I'll just highlight for the board. I had an opportunity to meet with the Chief House and the executive team. We had a chance to talk through some of the board direction, the status of that direction. So I just want to thank the chief and the team for your patience as I asked a lot of questions, but your willingness to meet and make sure we continue to address the direction of the board. So thank you. And then I'd just like to highlight, I had the chance to go to the Citizens Academy last night, and it continues to be well done. Thank you, team. Just the questions and engagement from that committee was outstanding, and just the way in which this organization meets those questions and the needs of the community. I'm just very proud, so thank you. With that, we'll move to the chief's report.
Great. Good evening, directors, colleagues, members of the public. To start off, February 4 through 7 was the Fill for Boots Drive for the Burn Institute, and what a successful event it was again this year. I want to first off thank all of our members that participated and the public for their generous donations. The Chief's Challenge took place on February 7th. I got to say, we did win. Really, technically, we didn't win. They changed the rules within the hour period. We raised Metro raised about $8,000, but we didn't officially win. The airport has a really good plan. You know, they can get in the terminals and see all the travelers. Which the winners is the Burn Institute, obviously, but. The Chief's Challenge in that time frame raised $23,173.56. Congratulations to Chief Brett and Sacramento County Airports for winning the Chief's Challenge. And the grand total raised during the entire time frame was $184,844.65. So big win for the Burn Institute, and collaboration was very successful. So great job in that, as always. A couple new hires we have. Camera Graham was hired as the position of our new medical director. She's going to start February 1st, or she did start February 1st. I saw her in the building. And she's going to join us on the February 26th board meeting, so you can all meet her and she'll introduce herself. So congratulations to her, and we welcome her as our new medical director. And then Laura Stantons was hired for the position of office technician in the office of the fire chief at the front public counter. Although she had to immediately leave the front counter, we shut it down, and she's working in the front counter at CRRD. She was very receptive with change, so she's going to work out great for the fire department. She started effective February 2nd. And I want to end with a video, if I can. It's going to take a little logistics here. I was notified by Congressman Ami Bera's office earlier today, and he spoke on the floor of the United States House of Representatives today in honor of our 25th anniversary. He sent us that video link. I'd like to show that. And in support of the HERO Act, it was an important bipartisan legislation with aims to aid first responder mental health and wellness. And this is a bill we've been championing along with 522 for a long time at the federal level and along locally. We appreciate Congressman Bera's words. It was a moving video, and I speak with Congressman Bera several times over this, and he's always a pleasure to be around, and he really highlighted this organization. So without any further ado, this is going to conclude my report. Unless you have any questions, I think we should end with the video. So any questions for me?
Any questions? No.
All right, if we can play the video.
I rise today to recognize the Sacramento Metropolitan Fire District recently celebrated 25th anniversary of serving communities in Sacramento. On December 1st, 2000, the American River Fire District and the Sacramento County Fire Protection District reorganized to. Mr. Speaker, I rise today to recognize the Sacramento Metropolitan Fire District, which recently celebrated its 25th anniversary serving communities in Sacramento and Placer County. On December 1st, 2000, the American River Fire District and the Sacramento County Fire Protection District reorganized to form what we now know as Metro Fire, uniting 16 fire agencies into one force dedicated to protecting our communities. Today, Metro Fire serves more than 720,000 people across 359 square miles. With 41 fire stations and more than 700 dedicated members, they stand ready around the clock to respond to fires, rescues, medical emergencies, and more to save lives and protect property. Their mission says it best: professional and compassionate protection, education, and service to the community. And that commitment isn't just words, it's how they show up every day, often on the hardest day of someone else's life. The teamwork and pride show up in every setting. Last year, Station 26 took first place in the inaugural Hero Act Chili Cook-Off my office hosted at the California State Fair. And I was proud to visit the station to present ribbons to Captain Adam Huckabee and firefighter Taylor Edwards. As we celebrate this milestone, we also have a responsibility to support the men and women who support all of us, especially when it comes to their mental health. That's why I'm continuing to push for passage of my bipartisan HERO Act to extend access to mental health and support for our brave first responders. Thank you, and with that, I yield back.
Thank you, Chief, for sharing. Any other questions or comments from the board? And I want to take the moment just to thank the congressman for taking the time to recognize this organization, and thank the men and women for everything you do every day. So thank you. Thank you, Chief. All right.
I have it on good authority. Just before you call, there is no operations report, administrative report, or support and emergency services report.
Huh. Just in time.
Wow.
I'm just going with what I was.
Yes. Well, thank you.
You guys make that easy.
All right. Vice President Scholar. Welcome.
Welcome. Good evening, Board of Directors, President Costa, Chief House, colleagues, members of the public. Vice President Scholar for Local 522. It's funny. I appreciate the video that Chief House showed, and I also acknowledge Congressman Barra for his support and recognition of this organization. I'm thrilled that the chili cook-off actually worked in the summertime for years. We've been talking about this for years in his office in DC, and we tried to pull him back from chili in the summertime, but he loves chili, and he refused. We tried to go barbecue even, but he was very adamant that chili was the way to go, and so it's great that it turned out the way it did, and I love the recognition. So thank you for sharing that. Real quick, I'll just go over a couple things that we've been involved in and some updates that you may or may not be aware of. But I was able to get out to the boot drive and attend opening ceremonies. Saw Director Stark out there, got to hang out. So I just want a big shout out to everybody that participated in that event. Very successful, as it always is, and a little passing of the torches from some of the firefighters that have been doing that for a long time. And we have great people in their place that don't have the family commitments and some of the old age of staying overnight out there anymore. So kudos to them for stepping up and taking that challenge on. So, and also the support of all organizations that got out there and were able to fill some boots. So fantastic on that. I attended CPF District 3 and 4 meetings this week as Director Rice. He has so many hats, it's hard to figure out which one to address, but he's very aware of the conversations that took place out of there. Most importantly, AB 1383, and obviously that making it out of the Assembly and on its way to the Senate right now. Fantastic legislation for pepper reform. It's monumental, and again, like, there's still a lot of work that needs to be done on it, but that wouldn't have happened without the support of fire agencies, members of the fire service throughout the state of California, and obviously the hard work that CPF has put into legislating on all of our behalfs to get that reform in place for the folks that currently work here. It's a really big deal, and like I said, there's a lot of work that still needs to get done, but events like Fire Ops 101 down at the Capitol and our members showing up and walking legislators through kind of a real quick snapshot of what we do, those things make a huge difference. And I just want to publicly thank anybody that steps up to the call when we say, hey, can you please get out here and take more time away from your family on your day off to come down here and volunteer your time. I think it does pay dividends, and I think AB 1383, where it's at right now, is proof of that concept. So thank you to everybody that's had an effort in where that's at right now. Health and Wellness Fair Chief Peck, great job on that. I was able to attend it and in and out of some of the classes and seeing the vendors and obviously the coach as well and everybody that had a hand in making that successful. Got to see a lot of you there and it was great mingling and making great relationships that with vendors and talking about big grand plans. So great event, positive feedback from the membership. So great job on that, Chief. Let's see, general membership we had this morning down at the Union Hall. Lightly attended, more on Zoom than in person, but you know how that goes. A lot of agencies in contract negotiations right now. A lot have wrapped up negotiations. All in all, I think things are doing great. I do want to say just to keep one of our brothers at the city of Sacramento in our thoughts and prayers for a tragedy that they experienced recently. I won't get into the details because I probably will get emotional talking about it, but they had a loss in their family, and so just keep them in our thoughts and prayers. That's what we are. We're a family. We try to stick together and be there for one another. So additionally, we have some union travel coming up. Going to go probably see Congressman Barra back in D.C. first week of March. Followed by our Strive for Excellence convention in Las Vegas, where we'll be getting some of our newer union members into classes. And it's a pretty robust training exercise where members can do live burn trainings, forcible entry, battery fire presentations. I think Battalion Chief from the City of Sacramento will be presenting one of those. So look forward to that. And then our 10th District PEP is soon after that in April, followed by CPF convention in May. So, and there's some stuff in between there. So very, very busy, but we're staying proactive. Obviously, everybody's aware we're in negotiations, so that's the main focus that we're looking to get done. And with that, I will take any questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions? Director Weber.
Naturally. Just could you inform the board the highlights or bullet points of PEPRA reform? What are the nuts and bolts of that you're trying to achieve?
Yeah, sure. So there were two amendments that came out of it. Essentially, the nuts and bolts are we wanted to get the cap a little bit higher to the IRS cap limit, but that wasn't the case. So I think the cap, what it was amended to, is around $190,000 for the cap, and then. The other piece was the ability to negotiate on cost sharing for contributions, and that was not the case. So cost sharing for the PEPRA members will be dictated by CalPERS, and Director Rice can correct me if I'm wrong on any of this stuff. But essentially the way the bill sits today, going through the Senate, is if it gets adopted and signed by the governor, 55 will be the age, and it'll be 2.7 at 55 for all members. So any member that's currently at 2.7 at 57 will go immediately to 2.7 at 55, with the ability for individual agencies to be able to bargain on 3% at 55. So big deal. Obviously, there's agencies that are going to have a little bit harder time looking at the bargaining of getting that to 3% at 55. But just the mere fact that that's a possibility now is significant.
No, very good work. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Weber. Any other questions, comments?
Thank you.
Thank you. I have it on good authority. No, I'm kidding. I'll just. All right, we'll go to committee and delegate reports. First, we'll start with the executive committee. So the executive committee met today, and thank you, board, for the opportunity to move forward on some of the board priorities. First thing we did was we directed staff to update the board policies and procedures to reflect that we'll be meeting on a consistent basis month to month, the first meeting of the month, along with there's some other, I think, items that need to be updated in that board procedure. So it'll come back to the board for review and approval and be updated. So I think it was last updated in 2016. Is that correct, Chief? Sorry, put you on the spot there. I believe that was the case. That's correct. Thank you. All right, thank you. Once we did that, that gave us the ability to move forward on a couple board priorities. So one, the strategic plan. So we heard from staff the status of the strategic plan. We have some issues to work through to get us back on track. Nothing to do with the staff, just the process. So we'll be hearing back from, once we get that addressed, it'll come back to the executive committee and then to the board for an update on where we stand and the schedule to get that completed and before us for approval. Within that, we talked a lot about some of the board priorities, one of those being communication. So the next item was around that topic to ensure we had concise communication. So we talked about priorities. So one of the big pieces is we've got a lot going on. And I think even as a board, we have a lot of priorities we want to focus on. And as we know, staff has a lot going on. And so we need to make sure we're focused on the resources to help them be successful and ultimately help us be successful. So we focused on a couple things. Internal communication will be the first part that we're going to be working on. So Jeff Fry will be taking the lead on that on behalf of the team, putting together a package for us to review on a communication plan focused on the internal communication. Part of that is coming to the board. So keeping the board apprised. So the process for communication with the board, we will use the executive committee as a mechanism to ensure we're keeping you apprised on the priorities that you set, and then working with the chief to ensure that he has what he needs to carry forward that direction. So that'll be part of that write-up. Also in there will be due dates associated with that, so we can track against that. So we want to make sure that you, the board, have what you need, and that staff has the direction that we set forward. We need to make sure we're concise and helping them manage those resources. So we'll use the executive committee as that opportunity to make sure we're taking your feedback to them and we're getting that feedback back to you. So that was quite a bit. Any questions on that? All right. Yeah. I want to thank Director Weber and Director Rice for all their support and input in that process, and the entire team. We got a chance to meet yesterday, talk a little bit about it, and we had a chance to really lean in today, and I want to thank everyone for coming in and for stepping up and giving feedback, because as we talked about before, we can't make good policies without good information, and that only comes from the men and women of this organization giving us that information. The other piece, as far as board direction as part of the strategic plan, was about labor management, and while not discussed today in the executive committee, the chief and I have been talking, and we have a schedule for meetings to ensure that we're meeting on a regular basis, month to month, correct, Chief? And then ensuring that we're meeting the intent of the board. So part of that intent was making sure we're meeting regularly, we're building coordination and building that relationship. So thank you, Chief, for taking that forward. And thank you to 522 for meeting us halfway. We're only gonna get better again if we're in the room working together. So thank you, Chief. And that's the end of my report. Our next executive committee meeting is March 12th. All right, thank you. Communication Center, JPA, oh, no report. I lucked out, man. All right, Finance and Audit Committee, Director Jones.
Thank you, Director Costa. The Finance and Audit Committee we have our next meeting February 26, 5:30 in these quarters. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Policy Committee, Director Clark.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Policy Committee met today at 5:30. We had a couple action items. The election of officers was postponed till next meeting, and I will announce that at the end. The second item was the meal and refreshment policy. We had a presentation or discussion with our Chief Human Resources Officer, Melissa Maddox, and we reviewed the meal and refreshment policy, and that, it will be moved to the full board. We also had a presentation, the 2025 year-end policy review, and Melissa Maddox also, she gave us that presentation. The next meeting will be March 12th at 5:30. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you, Director Clark. All right, we'll move on to board member questions and comments. Director Jones.
Thank you, President Costa. I'd like to say congratulations to every single person who was involved in that terrific fundraiser, the Fill the Boot for the Burn Institute. That reflects so well not only just on our particular district, but everyone within this regional community. Thank you. Thank you very much for supporting the Burn Institute.
Thank you, Director. Director Clark.
No comment, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Director Stark.
I just wanted to say I was happy to attend the kickoff for the Fill the Boot. I was really impressed. Another great event and a lot of enthusiasm. And I'm really excited that you guys raised a bunch of money. It was awesome, and looking forward to it next year.
Thank you, Director. Director Sailors.
No comment tonight, thank you.
All right, thank you. Director Gould.
Ditto.
Ditto. Thank you. Director Rice.
Contained. Thank you.
Thank you. Director Weber.
I also used up all my words in executive. Thank you.
He had a lot to say earlier, yeah. Thank you, Director Weber.
14.
And before we close out, I just want to say, I want to thank staff and everybody in this organization as we ask a lot of questions and we ask a lot of you. Thank you for your professionalism and leaning in. And, you know, I've said before, like, we can't make good decisions without good information, and you are the subject matter experts. So thank you for continuing to lean in and help guide us. And with that, we'll move to closed session.
Recording stopped.
That was good.
All right, we'll come back.
Recording in progress.
We are back from closed session. General Counsel, will you report out, please?
Yes, thank you. The board met in closed session pursuant to the closed session agenda. On item number 1, the board met for a conference with their labor negotiator identified in the agenda for the employee organizations that are listed. No reportable action was taken. Item number 2, the board met concerning the workers' compensation claim of employee Matt Miller. By unanimous vote, the board made the decision to give authority to its third-party administrator to effectuate a settlement of Mr. Miller's workers' compensation claim. On item number 3, the board met in closed session to discuss the matter of industrial disability retirement for employee Kim Fong. No action was taken. It will be taken up in open session. Item number 4, public employee performance evaluation for the fire chief. No reportable action was taken. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And with that, we'll bring back to action item number 5, adoption of resolution, industrial disability retirement for Battalion Chief Kim Fong.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. So we have a motion from Stark and a second from Weber. Roll call, please.
Yes, Director Sailors.
Aye.
Director Gould. Director Stark.
Aye.
Director Clark. Director Jones.
Aye.
Director Rice is no longer with us on Zoom, so absent. Director Weber.
Aye.
President Costa.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you. And that brings us to the end of the meeting. Our next regular board meeting is scheduled for February 26th. Meeting adjourned.
Recording stopped.